welcome back to another episode of Confessions of a Gamer Girl podcast. I'm your host, Doomcutie, and today we have our lovely panel. We have Shaye.
Hello.
We have Ellie.
Hello, hello.
And none other than Kitty. Kitty, you have been an MVP of COAGG since we started, and it's so lovely to have you back. Welcome back.
Thank you for having me back. I just absolutely love this podcast, and I love that you all continue to pursue something that you're so passionate about, and the fact that you've created such an open circle for everyone to join is just incredible.
Oh, Kitty.
Spitting
It was honestly, thank you so much. That means so much, not only coming from you, but for someone, to actually say that, because that was honestly my goal from the very beginning. It was never about like girls versus boys. It was always about like creating a safe gaming space for everyone. So thank you so much for that. And thank you for being here. How have you been? What have you been up to, darling?
Oh, look, really well. Mostly a lot of prep work for the 2024 edition of PAX Oz, but yeah, mostly research preparation, planning, but mostly also trying to have some downtime, really trying to read again. I'm a big fan of Sarah J. Maas. I'm sure some of you have read her books. So I started with ACOTAR, and now I'm reading the Throne of Glass series.
It's such a good series.
Oh, it's so freaking good. I'm on the second last book, and then I can start Crescent City series. That's pretty much what I've been up to. How about everyone else? Is anyone reading anything?
Well, I actually myself, I got a Kindle for my birthday last year, so
best.
Changed my life. Any books that I love, I will buy like hard copies of. So obviously I have like all the Harry Potters and all that kind of stuff. Cherish them. But I finished the ACOTAR series. I haven't delved into any more of her stuff. I read Tomorrow and Tomorrow. It's about, I don't think it's a true story, but the writer kind of bases it around, well, she wrote it for literary gamers. That's what she called them. So it follows the story of a game development team, and there's romance and there's drama, and it's not too girly. So yeah, I would definitely recommend that to anyone because it's got a lot of cool references in there. It even references like Kotaku and things like that. So yeah,
adding it to my list.
Yep. Definitely. I don't know, Ellie and Shaye, are you readers?
I'm not like a massive reader, but I've been jumping back into reading just a little bit because I'm much like my gaming. I'm a bit of a creepy reader. I like my horror, and I'm also like a little bit of a vintage book collector. I really love the 70s. I don't know the dimensions. I think it's 6x4, like the really like smidgy books.
The petite ones.
Yeah, I'm really into collecting those. And anytime I come across them in secondhand books, bookshops, I snag them. And the last one I found was The Deep by Peter Benchley. And he also wrote Jaws, fantastic author. But I actually put it on my Kindle because I was going to work on the train and I was nervous that if I put that book in my bag, my drink bottle would spill on it because I'm a water girly and I carry like 4 liters of water with me at all times. Exactly. So I downloaded it on the Kindle, but I downloaded the wrong book. It was a different book called The Deep. But it was also horror and it was also fantastic. And so it was the weirdest, happiest coincidence. So I'm like 70% through that now and loving it. So isn't that strange?
I've been reading academic articles and I would like to stop seeing words now. This week I got to mark a great deal of 3,000-word essays and I will just cry. But as for fun books, horror. I absolutely adore horror. And I finally, after many years of people telling me I started listening to audiobooks. Yes, they're
Nice.
fantastic.
Oh.
Okay, you got me. And Spotify, I literally just jumped on Spotify, went, like horror stories or whatever. And I found some really good ones on there, some short stories and things like that. So, it retains my attention. And they're from a different age. So it's fantastic to see a different perspective on things and yeah, just a different feel. I quite like it. It's got a lot of fun. But Throne of Glass series, oh my god, yes. Yes. Yes.
Good.
Yep.
This is about to turn into what is it, like COAGG book club or something?
Oh yeah, we absolutely add it to the Discord.
We can do a book club. Like Ready Player One was a fantastic book. I loved all the references through that. So
Totally.
we don't talk about the film.
Oh,
No.
okay.
No.
Not a fan.
No. It was
I
fine,
liked it.
but after reading the book, I was like, But no, the book, fascinating, especially because it was the first book I had read that actually really focused on gaming. I hadn't read any fiction books about gamers or anything of the kind really beforehand, and this mixed real world fears and experiences with gaming. And I was like, oh my god, please, thank you, amazing, let's go. So,
Wow. Sounds incredible. Speaking of gaming, this is a gaming podcast. What have we been playing, Kitty? What have you been playing?
I'm still playing Tears of the Kingdom.
You said that last time.
I'm trying to 100% it.
Okay.
And every time my husband sees me, he's like, stop looking for the Koroks. And I'm like, I will find them. There is 900, so I may give up. But I'm about
That's a lot of collectibles.
480 hours in. And I think it's just because I'm just enjoying all the side quests. It's just such a tranquil game. It's a beautiful game. I'm just really enjoying it. And of course, I'm in between. I'm playing World of Warcraft, Season of Discovery. But yeah, we'll eventually wrap it up. And then I was thinking of just hitting up some indie games. Yeah, how about you guys?
Well, I want to know your thoughts about Season of Discovery because I know you were very excited for it, and obviously you're still playing it. But I did not.
Didn't vibe?
I like my creature comforts in retail. And yeah, I don't know if you have a particular group that you play with all the time or like you dedicate, like I feel like it would be better if it was like, right, this particular day, like twice a week, whatever, we're jumping on for a few hours and we're going to level together. That would be okay. But I was kind of like left to kind of like I have a guild, but I was just like, oh, this isn't nice.
It's definitely more enjoyable when you have a group of friends. And I think that's kind of with any game that has that capability of, massive multiplayer online capabilities. I'm very fortunate that my husband plays and we have a really nice group of friends that we have been in a guild with. We're not in the same guild with them anymore, but that was back in, I think, 2019. Yeah. So it's nice to have those a regular group of friends where you can just jump on Discord, and if they're online, you can just level with them, or they'll come and help you level, or they'll be like, hey, come do this dungeon or whatever. If someone was coming from retail, I don't know if I'd bother with Season of Discovery. I'd probably just play Classic, just because I think Season of Discovery was for those people who just wanted like a little bit of spice. For that classic gaming.
Yes, definitely. But no, like that's always my in the back end, a game I'll always jump into. My guild is actually looking towards season 4 and who's playing what. And I'm like, if I can make the upgrades to my computer that I want, I will definitely play. But we're having a bit of power issues. So yeah. No, I'm just hoping that a powered USB hub will assist. I think my USBs are working on too hard. And I think they're drawing too much power from other areas of the computer. I'm also getting fans or all that stuff. So yeah, if I sort that out, I'll commit to playing because I do enjoy that. But outside of that, I have got Dragon's Dogma.
So excited for you to play and hear all about it.
I am waiting for, so I'm officially on school holidays. Yay. School holidays actually
out.
start on Friday. So that's going to be my school holiday game. I'm definitely going to jump into that then. Good times. Ellie, what have you been playing?
Yeah. I actually have not been well for the past week. So I've just had a really bad head cold, and it's only realistically today that I've been feeling like a lot better. So I just have been like absolutely just crashing after work. But I actually jumped back into Fall Guys, just something a bit easy. I'm like, I just want something fun, just a bit easy. And Fall Guys was like my pandemic game. I think a lot of people have like their pandemic game. Fall Guys was mine. Just something to have fun with your friends, just goof off, that sort of thing. And it was just really, really nice to jump in with that. And also, I'm full-time looking after my Tamagotchi. I don't know if that counts.
Oh, yes, I saw you got a Tamagotchi.
Full-time commitment.
It is.
He's like a child.
He's 7 years. No, he's 8 years old right now. And the matchmaker keeps trying to rock up, but I have a friend that we are connecting, and we want to make babies. So I keep saying no to the matchmaker.
Wait,
Wait, hold on. What's Tamagotchi time?
Tamagotchi.
Yeah, what's the time zone?
Oh, hold on.
So
there's a graph.
What week equates to a year?
Oh, I've had this Tama. I probably did it like a week and a half ago. So it's 8 years old. But the Tamagotchi is like a week and a half old. And the actual thing, this is mine for 2004. Like this is my actual Tamagotchi from 2004.
And you reset it.
But I reset it, put in a new battery. So my little Tamagotchi friend is like maximum 2 weeks old, but it says it's 8 years old. And so it's trying to have a baby, and I'm not ready yet. I'm not ready for that commitment. So I keep slapping the matchmaker away.
Tripping me out.
I didn't know Tamagotchis.
They grow up so fast.
They do. No, they do. They go so quickly, and then you have to have a baby, otherwise it gets old and then it dies, and you have nothing to continue.
So once they have the baby, do they die? And then you look after the baby, and then it starts again.
So it's like a body.
Or do you have two animals?
It's no, it's generations. And then you have like your older Tama and then the younger Tamagotchi, and then eventually your older Tamagotchi will die. And then you're stuck. You have the little one,
Okay.
and then you can look on the little menu, and it has your generation. So at the moment, it's first generation, but it keeps going and going and going. And now that I'm an adult, it is so much easier to care for them, play the games, skill it up. Like it is so much easier. Whereas when I was a kid, I found it so hard. I would kill them like every second week. But now I'm determined. I want to get to like 5th gen. So come back to me in like 3 months. So by the time PAX is, I'm going to be traveling with this bad boy on my badge.
You have it on the lanyard.
I better see it.
So if I don't see it, should I just not ask? Like if it's not there, should we just assume that we don't bring that up? Okay, gotcha. All right, understood.
But it'll be on my lanyard. Don't worry.
Yeah.
So a bit of discombobulating gaming for me this week.
Oh, fair. Some classic.
Shaye, I know you've been busy. It's been a busy time for me as well. You know, that education life, assessments. I had a very, very funny spelling mistake that I don't know if I should mention.
Of course you should.
Absolutely
always
should.
mention it. You should. You should. Yeah. No. Kitty
nothing to do with the games I was playing. But one of my beautiful, my year 5 class.
Yeah, we get it. They're all cute. Tell us the mistake.
Yeah, but all right, please. They were reflecting on an experiment they did, and the experiment was that they put Mentos into Coke. Now,
good one, classic.
Outside.
Now, this lovely student with conviction wrote Coke no less than 3 times on her page in the most beautiful handwriting, and she spelt it COCK.
Amazing, incredible, fantastic. Frame it.
You say sound it out, and that's exactly what it sounds like. So good for her with her comprehension.
She has really nice handwriting, and I really think that's a positive.
Yeah, phonetically, yeah.
The
English
E,
language is tough.
The O,
Yeah.
look, the O and the E make it an O sound.
A long
where
O,
if it's just by itself, it's a O.
English language rules don't make sense anyway, and they're entirely optional depending on what word you're applying it to. So realistically, the kid tried 3 times. And points. Can't fault.
I had to walk away.
Amazing.
From
How do you
the
keep a straight
table.
face? Couldn't, hey?
I had to.
Couldn't.
I could not teach children. Oh my god. I would not keep a straight face. Oh boy.
So that was very, very funny but like I said, end of term for most educators means assessments, which means lots of marking. So maybe not a lot of time for games, Shaye?
Oh no, there's always time for games. I will watch this world burn before I don't make time for games. Thank you everybody for understanding. No, so as you know, 1.6 came out, so of course I've dedicated a fuck ton of time to that. I found a bag of money in Stardew and a leprechaun hat, so that was cool. That's new. And then I was rummaging in a bin, as you do, and I found a bin catalog. So there's already all these little like new features and crap popping up in Stardew. I've got my chaos farm going on stream, so I decided to just push up the multiplayer cap to 20. So that's really fun, and it's going exactly like you think it would. The way you're picturing it, the fires, the general fear from the population, the bins.
Fantastic.
It's all I ever really wanted. Life is quite organized and it's very boring. And then it's Easter, and I really love this, right? So I'm a higher education lecturer, and people go, "Oh, it's Easter, so you get an Easter break." No, I don't.
No,
I don't. The place I work doesn't do a break for Easter. I would like to sleep, please. Please put on a blonde wig and go teach my students. They write crap like that all the time, though, and it's not accidental. So
I can do it via web conference.
Yeah. And like they're adults, right? So you can giggle at it, and no one's parents is going to come and have a heart attack at you. Their handwriting's probably pretty garbo, but they type nicely. That's pretty cool. Yeah.
I don't type with like this.
Well,
like my students do.
It's a bit weird, right? So like some of them come through and they're pretty all right, but I think we've discussed this before. Like there's definitely a lowered skill in like computer literacy, because everyone's so used to using phones and tablets at school now. So we're getting students coming through who genuinely can't type. Like they're like, and you're like, oh boy, that's gonna take a second. And they're like, oh, I can just do everything on my iPad, right? I'm like, no, we're teaching game development in Engine. No, you can't do that on a goddamn iPad, dude.
iPad.
No.
Yes.
I swear to God, stop. No. So, and it takes a while to convince them. So essentially, that's been my last week.
I feel like if computers got introduced to you at school when you were in like year 5, year 6, like there was a massive kind of hype about computers in school, and they were like, yes, we're going to use it for everything, and kids won't write again, and we'll just we'll all type, no writing,
My
and
schools
now
were not
everyone's
that
like, no, we're not remembering things because we're not actually making the letters with our fingers.
I'm sorry. Did you forget that the humans have a complete connect to the way we do things physically? That's so strange. It's almost like we need that. Crazy.
Anyway, so
I'm not salty.
I feel like a lot of people around my age, 30 or so, had a real education about typing. Like I remember it actually being a class. And now it's just like they'll be right. They're using technology all the time. We don't need to teach this. It's like this is a skill. This is actually like
the primary
like playing...
schools not have it or something. Because like I was like you, where it was about year 5 or 6 that computers started being introduced to schools. Except I was in really poor schools, like poor public schools. So there was like 5 computers, and everyone in the school had to share that. So maybe you got a turn on it. I don't know.
If it's not in the school's planning, if it's not a priority, because lots of these programs cost money, if they don't divert funds to that.
They don't do it in primary anymore. They don't go, hey, kiddos, we're going to teach you running, writing, but then we should probably teach you this other style.
Actually, printing is not a class either. in upper primary.
Printing.
It's only
like writing.
yeah, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
God, you're taking me back to school and it's freaking me out.
But
no, Kitty, it's okay. You don't have to go back. Put your hand down. Don't worry about it.
My handwriting used to slap, all right? I used to write some bomb essays. I was laughing before because you unlocked a memory that I had buried deep inside, and I lost it. And I was like,
we've gone deep with Kitty.
And I just Googled it.
Oh,
and
no.
I remember being handed a floppy disk from my brother, who was 10 and I was 8. So this is 1998.
Yeah.
And they had gotten a computer at school. I hadn't got it yet because I was in grade 4, maybe. I think.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And it had on it Elf Bowling, and it was a floppy disk. I just looked it up, and I remember laughing because there was the phrases such as, "Is that all the balls you got, Santa?"
Hold on, Elf Bowling.
Elf Bowling. It was a game from 1998, and I distinctly remember using a floppy disk to put it into the computer to play it.
See, you said elf, and I thought like elf is in Lord of the Rings elf. So the ball comment was fucking wild, and then I'm like, oh right, Santa has elves.
Wow.
Of course, that makes sense. Right? Yes, of course.
Because we didn't get a computer lab until I think grade. At my primary school until grade 5. I think.
It was about that time for like a
school
lot
got a
of
lab.
millennials.
And I remember playing those games where the keyboard would be visible on the screen. So you would learn to touch type by looking at the screen. With hitting the letters instead of looking down. Yeah, this is exactly what I remember playing.
I wonder why they called it a computer lab, though. It was very fascinating.
What were we doing in it?
Science?
No. Okay. I am for a computer lab because I have laptops in my actual lab, and it's really annoying. Yeah. And I believe the word lab...
laboratory or
definitely
lobotomy.
Lobotomy, 100%.
Options.
Girl, I could go for a lobotomy. Don't tempt me.
I know, right? Oh, are we getting matching lobotomies? Oh my god,
matching ice
this
picks.
Is not.
Oh my god.
Maybe if we lived in the 50s.
Oh, don't worry. They were done right up until I think it was somewhere in the 80s or something. So someone's still alive with that knowledge. You know, we've got this. We'll look into it. We'll get back to you. Don't worry, Doom. We got it.
Sorry, I derailed that, but wow. Computers, education, learning, kids, access, writing, wild time.
I wish I still had one.
A lobotomy?
Well, yes, but also a floppy disk.
So good. Felt so cool. My little container.
I want it.
Do
you remember when they actually were floppy before they were plastic?
Hold on. Is there a video?
There's
video of the game.
So, oh my god, no, really? Has someone got an emulator? Oh god,
they do. I don't know if you can hear it. Elf
Bowling. No, but don't worry, I can. I feel like I know the tunes. I
can envision it.
Like
that and Happy Land. I used to love playing Happy Land.
Oh, Happy Land!
Happy Land was my favorite. And
1999.
Damn, man! I just got to play like the old pinball and Minesweeper and oh Jesus Christ, that was cursed. Oh boy.
Maybe that's what we should dress up as a dream hack.
I don't think we want to be people's nightmare. Actually, no, that's not true. Yes, we do, but better kind.
Wow. Is that all the balls you got, Nana?
What are they, minions?
Oh boy, that's a thing that I love.
So good.
Apparently, right? Chat is saying there was actually a movie made out of the Elf Bowling game. Is that correct? Surely not. That was cursed. It does give me Home Alone vibes.
I'm Google it later.
Though.
You wait.
Yeah.
I'll be up until 2 a.m. watching it.
Yo, Kitty, chuck us a link.
Absolutely.
Chuck us a cheeky link. Thanks, man. Oh god, why?
Wow. Right.
Okay.
Anyway, where to go from here?
I really feel like each week has a derail topic, and this week it's elves. Last week it was
I'm not
cheese, and there was
surprised.
another time that was yeast or something. I don't know. Oh no, it was blood-sucking chickens last week.
All right, Shaye, no, we're not going back. Let's on our socials,
That
we
wasn't my
actually
fault.
we opened up a Q&A for Kitty. And if you are here and you would like to ask her a question, please do. Before we get into the Q&A, I will give Kitty the opportunity to just like give us a little taster of kind of like, you know, what is your expertise and, you know, what is your passion? So obviously you are the content lead of PAX Oz, but is there anything else that, you know, you want to put out there for everyone?
I guess with my experience, it started in marketing, which was social media marketing, which then moved to digital marketing. So, you know, pay-per-click advertising. And then I was like, wow, I really hate being behind a computer all the time. So then I moved to marketing, and then I was like back to just normal marketing. And I was like, oh, this is fine. But I actually like talking to people more. And I'm like, oh, I should be in public relations. So I did a stint of public relations. And then I was like, actually, I prefer curating the content that I'm creating relations for. So then I moved into being a conference content manager, so to speak.
So was that all different companies as well, or was that within a certain select couple of companies?
It was across multiple companies. But what I feel really lucky and privileged about is that most of those companies were in gaming and tech.
Right.
Yeah.
She loves a theme.
Yeah.
She loves a theme.
Very lucky.
All right. So, questions. All right. First question from Instagram from Lucas Coombe says, just how to get your foot in the door.
All right. Beautiful. So, if you want to get your foot into the door into any industry, the first thing you need to know is what profession and set of skills you are bringing to that industry. Don't even bother trying to find an industry unless you know what you are a crack shot at and what you can make your name in. So whether it's marketing, sales, operations, event production, accounting, finance, there's a whole lot of other things. That's what's coming to my top of my head. Once you have all your skills refined, then you can start looking at industries, and getting your foot in the door to those industries is often volunteering at industry events and connecting with people in that industry to ask them about their journey. But I find with gaming in particular, from my experience and talking to other friends, it's once you're in the community, it's actually quite easy to connect with people. It can take a little bit of time, a little bit of finessing, and it's a bit easier in terms of getting experience, because in Australia there are now quite a number of few gaming and pop culture events that you can get experience at to supplement the industry experience alongside your set of skills. Hope that helps.
So do you mean roles like enforcers at PAX? Would that be kind of a foot in the door, scouting out, you know, what kind of roles people do? Like if they're keeping an eye out for, you know, the back end of things, and being like, oh, I don't like that because I don't know, I feel like I'm really busy all the time, and I'm you know, I'm always on the floor, I'm moving around heaps, I don't really like that, but oh, that position looks good over there because, you know, I feel like I'm really good at building relationships with people, but also maybe like a slower pace of things. Like, would you say that kind of thing would be a good place to start?
Yeah, absolutely. Anything like Supernova, Comic-Con, of course, DreamHack, the Game Expo. There's, oh my gosh, I've just gotten the name. There's the con in Adelaide. There's Pixel Expo. Like, there's actually so many now in Australia. The thing with being an enforcer, and I just adore the enforcers, we have about 700 plus of them that help us run the show. And there's so many different content areas that I manage, and I work with those enforcers in the areas. And it's really great because, you know, if you love tabletop gaming, you can be in tabletop, or you can be in console and PC, which is fantastic. A lot of IT people with those professions are enforcers. Upstairs are all the panels and the special guest signings. A lot of those people are in marketing or public relations, and they're really good with people. So it is, you're right, very good experience. The other show which is really great is SmashCon or Smash, which is the anime festival in Sydney, and they often have, I don't believe all the roles are paid, but they do have specific roles that you can get experience in, which is also another opportunity.
Yeah, I would say that's really fantastic advice. And I think also what worth noting would be not getting too down with the saturation of people in the industry as well, because I think it's really easy, especially if you're coming from, like, say, either university or a completely different industry. Say you're a nurse and you want to get into gaming, like, it can be really intimidating. And I think you can look at it and be like, well, you're telling me right now that I have to put in the hours, I have to put in the networking, like, it seems like a lot of effort. I think a little bit of patience with the industry and knowing, like, majority of these hours are super fun. Like, networking is actually super fun. Giving something a go, like becoming an enforcer, is actually super fun. And I think that it's really easy to kind of swallow all that information and be like, nah, you know what, too much effort. But it can actually not only not be that much effort, but also be really enjoyable along the way.
Yeah,
I think there's really something to be said, though, as well, for those networking events. Like, you get to meet some fascinating people, genuinely. And, like, for example, the PAX Women in Gaming panel, meetup that usually happens, you don't know who you're going to talk to. You just know there's a bunch of other ladies. You've popped in there. Everyone's shitting themselves like you are. It's fantastic. I come across as very friendly and open. The moment you put me in a crowd by myself, I am in a corner. I don't know how to approach that. But you meet these amazing people. They're developers, they're journalists, they're other entertainers. Like, it's so interesting, and you create friendships from that, not just networks. People really think of networks as being a professional thing only. No, that's your support network. Those are your friends who are going to tell you about opportunities that either they've seen and they think you might suit as well, or they've passed up on, but they know someone cool, and that cool person is you. So those networks, don't look at them as work. Look at them as friendships.
Definitely. I think probably because I suppose I'm trying to get my foot in the door. If I'm,
You're in, babe.
I was going to say, like, we can just kick down the door.
But probably yes, because obviously I underestimate myself, and I'm always, like, in a growth mindset, so I always know that there's, you know, more journey to undergo. But what I definitely would say is I was always open to things. I always said yes to as many things as I felt comfortable with, and I didn't spend my entire time thinking, oh, when am I just gonna get a paying job? Like, when am I just gonna get that right thing? And I think probably you need to go into this, whether it be, you know, if you are volunteering, because you probably will be, you need to go in with a growth mindset. You really need to be open to being just amongst it and enjoying the journey for what it is.
And it will be tiring at times.
Yeah.
So one of my first gigs, which I got because it was a referral from a friend who couldn't take the job. So she referred me, which was great.
There you go.
And it was with the esports company. They needed someone to do their marketing and lead their community and pretty much create a fan club for them, which I did. And this was at a competition called Gfinity 1,000 years ago. At this time, I had already started doing paid hosting gigs on a show called 64 Bytes, which was like a variety online show, which was really fun. But yeah, I got this opportunity, but it was every Saturday, Sunday in the city, so an hour commute for me each way for 6 weeks, every Saturday, Sunday. So I was working full time, and then so 5 days, and then Saturday and Sunday, and I did that for 6 weeks, and I was so exhausted. But the people I met were so good. Like, it was so great to connect and network. And I was like, if I can just get through this, I think it will open up opportunities for me. And it did.
Yeah.
And I think with opportunities like that as well, like, it's only 6 weeks, right? And so it's going to feel like a lot while you're doing it because you're only one person and it's tiring. But then once it's done, it's done. Cool. You can move on to the next fun thing that you can now springboard off that 6 weeks to achieve. So I think it's really, like, obviously don't say yes to anything that is going to overload you. Like, everybody is their own person. So if you hit a point where you're like, oh, I'm going to die if I say yes, don't do it. Get your sleep. But also, yeah, much like Doom is saying, just say yes if it sounds fun and it sounds in your area, even if it doesn't immediately seem like it could lead to anything further. Say yes, give it a go.
For sure.
That's it.
Thank you, Kitty, for that, and thank you to everyone for putting their 5 cents in to that, because obviously, you know, we have some experience too. Where am I? There was a question from It's Emiko, fellow Perthian.
Hey, Emiko is such a cutie.
She's lovely. She actually volunteers her time with Pixel Expo.
Sick.
So she organizes the Pixel Pals, which is great. She says, best tips on how to stay up to date with everything when you are a busy bee.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if she means like gaming news or the latest in the industry, or
I'd say probably industry.
Yeah.
Because Emiko is also a streamer, so yeah.
Yeah, she is.
I think several things in that regard. Following game sites is great. Obviously, like your Kotakus and anything news related like that. I think they're actually fantastic on reporting not just games but also social issues within games. But also following thought leaders through LinkedIn. I won't rattle off a list now, but there's several people I follow who are very much on the pulse with everything within the industry. And I made it my goal last year to connect with relevant people on LinkedIn. I've said no to a lot of connections on LinkedIn because I didn't see any relevance. Initially, I felt a bit mean, but I'm like, I'm following people for a purpose to be within the industry. So definitely taking advantage of LinkedIn and following people, because you will see people will share posts of what's happening in the industry. And although Twitter can be an absolute echo chamber, if you're following the right people and look at the right hashtags, you can also stay up to date.
I love that you suggested LinkedIn. That's fantastic because like I'm constantly fighting to get my students on LinkedIn. Obviously, you know, we're academic. Well, I'm an academic and an entertainer. That's weird. That's a weird combo. But yeah, so it's weird, eh? But I teach professional development, and in that, I'm like, guys, you need to be on LinkedIn. So a lot of my students aspire to work in studios and things like that. I am an outlier working in games entertainment, but yeah, like I just
I love it.
But yeah, like convincing them that like LinkedIn genuinely is important, even for gamers. Like, sure, we might do fun art thing. I say this heavily with sarcasm, but LinkedIn isn't just for boring businessmen. Like you've got to jump on that, take advantage of it, and the amount of new knowledge you can gain from that particular platform by following the correct people is fantastic. And the people you can access too, like you were saying, relevance. You can actually add a lot of Australian devs on LinkedIn and talk to them, and they will talk back to you because they're actually just really friendly and they're cool to help if you.
Excited. They just want to spread their games. Because you are right. When I first thought of LinkedIn, when I was in the big boy industry, I was like, it's just people like showing up to each other. And it's just like, I've been in this role for 30 years. Like it was just like a way to brag, and it was quite businessy. But when you do tailor it to whatever you want it to be, and obviously we're chatting games, you can keep up to date with what everyone's doing. You can keep up to date with a lot of the indie developers because they want you in their sphere, and so they're going to kind of rope you in, chat to you, give you advice, and it's very daunting to reach out to somebody and kind of put yourself on the line, but there's so much kindness within gaming and tech. There's so much willingness to help. It's the worst that they can either do is not respond or say no. That's the worst. And if that is the worst and you read that, you're like, okay, on to the next. There's literally nothing.
But it's also super important to remember that a no now is not a no forever. It could be a no now because our business isn't in the right place, or we're just not looking for that at the moment, or maybe we need you to sort of refine some of those skills a little bit. But maybe in 2 weeks, oh crap, things just changed. We've gotten a grant, or we've gotten a project. Yeah, absolutely, we'd love to have you on.
And so definitely, definitely, if someone does say no to you, just say, look, is there? I wonder if you could take a look at my my profile, like if it's on LinkedIn, my resume, my experience. Is there anything that you would recommend? Because I really, would be interested in these kinds of roles in the future. Could I get more experience in this area? And
find yourself a mentor.
Yeah, and would you consider me? Please consider me in the future. That kind of thing.
Yeah.
Just so everyone knows, my children are fine. They
were fine. Good.
My eldest,
so funny.
My eldest was doing work about bilbies, the Easter bilby. I think they read the book.
Yeah, the Easter bilby. Yeah.
Yeah, and then
during Easter.
Exactly.
Does he poop out the eggs?
Yeah.
I wouldn't put it past him. He's sketchy.
Anyway, so she was doing it at school, and afterwards she's like, Mum, we have to go down to the shop. We have to buy a bilby Easter egg. I'm like, why? Like, it was like a matter of urgency. And I was like, what do you mean? What's going on? And she's like, because we have to save the bilbies, Mum. We have to save them. And every time you buy a bilby Easter egg, and they only sell them during Easter, you help donate to bilbies because they're in danger.
Oh, okay. I'm with you now.
Yeah.
I'm with you now. I'm there.
So the eldest one got the $10, mind you, $10 for a bit bilby. It was like about this. It was about that big. But,
Aussie living, mate.
And then my youngest picked one. She picked the bluey wrapped foil egg.
As you do.
We love that, of course.
Save the blueies.
But obviously she just like chowed down on hers, like before I'd even paid for the thing. And then my eldest brought it home. She put it into a Glad bag. Like a Ziploc bag. And she's been, just having a bit here and there. Next minute.
Oh, no.
She was probably teasing her. I don't know. I wasn't there, but it's fine. Everyone's alive.
I love it.
They won't be if that kid eats other kids' chocolate.
That's pretty serious allegations.
Yeah.
It really need a lawyer.
I'd take down a sibling for that. I got you. Like,
definitely could hang a sibling over that.
Actually, get you. Don't eat my chocolate.
We have a question in the chat. I'll just pop that up. Brittany has asked, what's a thing that motivates you or just inspires you to be in the community? I'm trying to get in the community and finding it a bit daunting. Well, just on that, coming here and chatting to us is a great thing to do, to join the community. What a good way to start that off.
I don't know if I have the other picture, but this is what inspires me.
Oh, it's you.
Piano.
Little me.
Oh, right. Tiny you inspires you. I like
Just
it.
Tiny me. I don't have the picture of me on playing the Super Nintendo. I don't know where it is. I did have it on my desk. It's gone somewhere. But I think back to what I envisioned when I was, 4 or 5, playing with my brother, and how I always wanted to do something with that. And then whenever I get overstressed or I think I'm not doing enough, I remind myself of how far I have come and what I have achieved already. That's the biggest thing. But I try and be the inspiration for myself. And then the other thing is seeing people happy and have the best time at PAX is what my other motivation is. Like, I work hard, I put the hours in, I stress myself out because I want to see people happy and have the best weekend. Yeah.
And you're a big step to creating the fun with that. And I think all of us little nerd gamers thank you for it.
And yeah, that's why I will always, I will crash tackle anyone who has a go about conventions and say, oh, they didn't have Sony there and I didn't get to see my game there. You think she didn't ask, bro? Like, you don't
Hey,
think
I didn't get to see my uber specific niche little weird thing that was popular 6 years
get
ago,
to see Elf
and I
Bowling
needed it.
5.
Oh,
Where was it?
okay, well, Elf Bowling 5 is different, but like, you know.
Oh.
Yeah, no, because I know exactly what motivates you. It's you and it's the community. It's how far you've come. You've got enough, self-awareness and love for yourself, and so you damn should. And I can only imagine the amount of absolute just joy you feel afterwards, and you see everyone's highlights, you see their photos and all the videos that come out of it, and you must just absolutely swell with pride. And yeah, we do for you. Yeah,
aggressive encouragement. We got you. We're all about aggressive encouragement.
How long have you been working with PAX now?
So in August it'll be my 2 years, but this will be my 3rd show that I'm working on.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And it must feel really amazing. I mean, once the dust settles, of course, because I'm sure it's quite a stressful weekend for you. But afterwards, I don't know if you're a data lady or if you're just a vibes lady, but looking back on what you've achieved and everyone's continuous support and love and, flourish for the weekend, you must feel quite good about your participation and your inclusivity with it all.
Absolutely. I'm actually very much a data lady. I try and get as much data as possible from all the content areas I look after. And I work with the, enforcer managers of those areas to collect that data, especially those post-show surveys. Like if you do have the opportunity, anyone listening, to fill them out, absolutely do fill them out. Thank you, because I read every one. Because I want to see, what do people enjoy? What didn't they enjoy?
That's so much.
Yeah. And then I use that in my data to then form the content strategy for the year.
For the next year,
yeah. So it's actually super important. Vibes are always great as well, of course, but yeah, I love
What's the
data.
unit of measurement for vibes? I don't know. FPS? Fun per second?
Yeah.
I had exactly 3 fun within this particular second. It was very good.
That's so cute. I love that. Definitely when people complain about lines being too long for a certain activity, content area, I know people complain about it, but it means it must be good because people are lining up for it. So
that's it.
Good sign.
Valid.
Yeah.
Yes,
what can people do to this will be a very odd question, but you mentioned the surveys and filling those out, and obviously that informs your coming year, but what else can people do to help you? Like, if they want to make your job easier, support PAX in some way, that kind of thing. Is it all about social media and just sort of getting the word out there?
That is actually a fantastic question. Thank you for asking. The biggest thing I think that sincerely helps is the community, not harassing, but talking to the developer, publisher, game dev, guest, whoever they want to see at the show, not just coming to me, but actually saying to them, hey, have you checked out PAX Oz? Hey, you should go check out the show. Going to the publisher, hey, publisher, we really want to see you at PAX Oz. I think that's actually really important because the team I work with are so fantastic. And I know it's hard to think about like a corporation because we are a business, but everyone in the team, whether they're a casual gamer or a hardcore gamer, I'm kind of more in the middle. We are all sincerely so genuinely passionate about gaming and the community, and a lot of us have come from the community. So we genuinely want cool stuff to happen, and we will reach out as much as we physically can, but sometimes that little boost from the community does make a difference when the community is asking for a certain someone compared to just us.
No, fantastic. I think you can also get through too, because obviously, things happen, things go to junk folders, or, people are getting spammed by emails and they miss something, but people are checking their comments, people are interacting with the community. And if their community is going, hey, I'd love to see you at this really cool thing, and they go find that they've already been emailed. Oh my God, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
So I love
Word
that.
of
I love
mouth. How we got
Yeah.
a few guests last year was actually through word of mouth. Because I'd worked with a guest in 2022 and then they'd spoken to their friend. And then that's when I
That's
did reach out to them, they were like, oh, yeah, actually my friend came and they had a great time.
Oh,
Yeah, I'll come in 2023. So that also helps when they talk to each other.
I can vouch for that because obviously it's not everyone's experience, but I kind of grew up, obviously I'm from Melbourne, so PAX is quite accessible for me. But I kind of grew up knowing about PAX, but thinking it was quite a lads club. Most of the blokes I knew in my life would back when it was like a big LAN party, they would go and take their computers, they'd set themselves up, and that was them for the 3 days. And because that was never really my thing, like not only am I not a massive PC gamer, like I game here and there, but I'm not massive. But I didn't want to just go and just do LAN the whole time. Like it just wasn't my vibe. And so that sort of thing, I knew about it. I just never went. And it was only until someone actually asked me, hey, I think this will be really up your alley. You really enjoy gaming. I think you should come. That I was like, you know what? Stuff it. I'm going to go for a day and I'm going to see if I like it. Like I said, I'm from Melbourne. If I really didn't like it, I know a bunch of bars. I could leave, go and have fun, then go home.
Yeah.
But you know what? I had such a blast that day that I didn't want to leave. And I had to leave because I was getting up really early the next morning for work, sadly. But I genuinely didn't want to leave. And I was so excited for the year after. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to do 2 days the next time. And I did 2 days. And I was like, I can't get enough. And honestly, ever since those starting years, it has been word of mouth that started it, but kept me going. And the more junior gamers you speak to, people are like, oh, I only play The Sims. You're like, girl, you are a gamer. If you play The Sims, you are a gamer.
Yeah.
Like Candy Crush, you're a gamer.
Exactly. It's for anyone, big or small. It doesn't matter if you've played 100 games this year. It doesn't matter if you've played one. And it also doesn't matter for your gender because it is quite inclusive. We just all kind of grew up in that era of video games for boys. So we kind of had to force our own way and pioneer a path for ourselves. It's so changing now. And it's also in the inclusion of things like, you know, the women in gaming meetups. There's plenty of panels. I
was so happy to see that. Genuinely.
I was too. I was buggered because I was working that night and I was so sad that I couldn't make it. But even with our meetup last year, Doom, just having a room full of people that, you know, was pioneered by 3 women, it was really powerful to feel that we are part of the community and we are valid, because a lot of the times in men's industries, we aren't valid. And if I think about it too much, no joke, tacky, I could cry. Like it is really hard to be a part of something that you feel that you're not.
You're excluded from the start before you even get in, before you've been you in the slightest.
Worthy. And it's bullshit. It's not true. And to just feel the love has been beneficial. And like you could look at it and just be like, oh, it's a nerd con. It's just 3 days of weirdos. It is, but it's amazing.
But my kind of weirdos, okay?
Right.
I can walk up to somebody and I can comment on their fucking cool hat and nobody's going to look at me weirdly. They're going to go, oh yeah, I love my hat. I got it from here. I love that so much. Oh my goodness. I do that out in public and apparently I'm weird.
That's why we locked you up last time, Shaye, but we won't have PAX to worry.
I can still
honestly,
be PAX.
like, I mean, that's literally why I made this. I feel in my community there's no one like me. And when I say my community, my IRL community. And you know, I'm a mom, I'm a teacher, I have a professional life, but I also have hobbies and things that I really love. And there's nothing worse than, you know, being out at a party or whatever, and then being like, oh, you know, so what did you get up to, or you know, whatever. And when you talk to someone, you're like, oh, that one of my favorite games got a new patch downloaded,
and inside you're so excited. You're like, oh my God.
but you can't, and you have to water yourself down. You have to dim that light inside you. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with not being a gamer, but the people who aren't in it really don't understand it. Like but I feel like, you know, if you're really into sports and passionate about that, or, you know, something more, I guess, socially acceptable, although
more
it is
traditional.
changing a lot more,
Mm.
you kind of looked at as a bit of a weirdo. So when I do go to these events, which I work really hard so that I can go to these events, because if I didn't, I would honestly, I feel like I would like crumble, like a plant not getting enough sun or water,
Yeah.
And that's why I'm so grateful for the work that you do, Kitty, and everyone like you, because these things wouldn't happen. All the introverts and the basement gamers and like
Dwellers.
honestly, yes,
We emerge.
and like and I love seeing gamer families as well.
Oh my god,
they're
so cute.
so great. Like,
dude.
I
When they
saw
dress up their babies as Pokemon and
Mandalorian
stuff.
and Grogu, I died. I was like, don't ask for a photo. Don't ask for a photo. That's weird. Don't ask
I've
for
done
a
it
photo.
before. I saw a kid dressed up as
But
Steve
it was
from
like
Minecraft.
a little toddler. It was like,
So cute.
I walked up to this kid. He was like 7. He was real happy with his costume. I was like, hey, dude, can I have a photo? And he was like, yeah. I'm like, maybe I should ask your mum, though. And she's like, sure. Like, the mum clearly was not a gamer, but the kid was.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Oh, that's
I got
great.
you, little mans.
I love that. They were just like, dragged. Mum, we have to go to this. I like it. Look,
Yeah,
I made
he's
this
like
thing.
so enthused. He was so pumped. He's got his little sword and everything, and he's looking around like eyes are sparkly. He's so happy, and the mum's like, "What is going on? Who are these
I
people?
just be
Why are
like,
they dressed like
you go,
this?"
Glen Coco. You go. I don't know what's going on, but
I loved
you're
that the
having fun.
mum
I'll
had
take your
no
photo.
idea, and she was still good. She was like, "I don't know what's happening, but sure, kiddo, let's do it. No worries." I'm like, good
my
parenting.
parents have no idea what I do.
Same.
My family, apart from my 2 cousins, don't comprehend what I do. And often when I meet people who, I usually get a vibe if they do anything gaming, pop culture. If they don't, if they ask me what I do, I say I'm a conference manager.
Oh.
Because
that is so sad. That sounds like the most boring.
But that's what
thing.
I have to do as well.
You book hotel rooms for lawyers or something to have meetings.
Conference manager. I run content conferences.
When somebody asks, like, what do you do? For me, I'll go, I'm a senior lecturer. And sometimes they ask what I do and like what I do that in. And other times, like, okay, lovely. Yeah. And for the people who do ask, I'm here like, games and animation. They're like, oh, you can teach in that? And it's like, so I didn't tell you.
Where do you think people learn it, babe? Where do you think they learn it?
Oh, so you like teach people to play games? And I was like, no, that is a coach. I mean, I'd love to.
Yes.
But no.
I wish I could. I wish people were, paying $4,000 a term to play video games.
If you want to pay me that much to teach you to play video games poorly, I got you. But realistically, no one's paying me for that. So no, like you absolutely have to dumb down your profession to be more acceptable at times. You don't have to.
I've been trying to hype myself up in the community though. Like I've been a little bit, because I'm like, and that's why I got into the Minecraft Education Ambassador program. I got my shirt. I put it on Instagram if you didn't see it. Doomcutie.
I absolutely saw it.
I've been seeing some
that shirt,
photos.
limited edition. You can't just buy that. It has ambassador on the back because I did all the training. I'm in the groups. I'm sharing my stuff, and it's a total vibe. And we have lots of fun. And no, I'm not teaching your children to play Minecraft. I'm teaching them how to code. I'm teaching them early stages of Python. Okay, I'm teaching them about cyber security. All these jobs, very relevant for Gen Alpha. That's what they call them.
Terrifying.
But introducing them in a way that's like entertaining and not just a brick wall of this is cybersecurity. It's really hard. It's like, no, this is the intro to it. This is what it could look like. This is what you can expand it into. Do you like it? Maybe you could look more into it. That's a cool thing. Like, I really love that you ease them in.
There was today, we were doing cybersecurity, and there was this one monster. It was like you were in a classroom and you'd go and set up networks, like LAN networks, and you'd go back into the classroom, and then like some you'd get hacked, and then they're like, oh, how yeah. And then they were like, oh no, what are we gonna do? And then and then you get transported back, and it's like this like monster. Like this one was called the packet thief. Packet thief. So
You stealing my chippies?
Is there an age
I know, I was thinking that.
cut off? Because I would like to do these.
no,
I
you
would
can,
really
you
enjoy
can,
them.
you can.
Sign me up.
No, there's no age limit to learn about this, and yeah, and it was like this little thing, and I'm like, oh my god, girls, look, it's a packet thief. They're like, oh no, don't steal our packets. And it's just like it's like stealing their passwords, stealing packets of information. And I think the packet thief was like, haha, they'll before they even realize what's happening, they won't be able to change anything. Haha.
Oh
And
my god, that's incredible.
it was so funny. But yeah, no, I couldn't explain that to their parents. They'd be like, what do you mean? It's like, well, I'm
How is that
personifying
relevant?
a lot of like I'm personifying zeros and ones. You know, like yeah, anyway. Don't water yourself down for anyone, basically, is what we're trying to say. And if you have to, because, you know, you have to code switch or whatever, there are plenty of opportunities for you to engage in the gaming community, whether it is at events like the ones that Kitty has, or if it's just with us in our podcast or on our socials. You know, we are
Come be some chaos.
Yeah. All of our DMs are open. You know, obviously we have jobs and lives, but we do endeavor to answer any questions that you might have. And yeah, definitely like tell us what you're doing or what you'd like. What do you want to do? We'll give you like suggestions of who to follow and you know what cool games to play and stuff like that. So totally a vibe.
Yeah. I need to update my pinned tweet, but for a long time I had a pinned tweet which was literally DM me your career questions, and like anytime people ping me, which is great, asking their questions and I'll answer them.
Well, Kitty, now that you say that, I'm gonna slide into those DMs and be like, "Hi, Kitty, it's me, the small gremlin that you had to talk to for an hour. How you doing?"
That I had the privilege and joy of talking to for an hour.
I'm really glad that you can phrase it that way.
Okay.
I torture these people constantly with interruptions and just
I love it.
Yeah, derailment. Ellie puts up with me. She like holds her face and she's just so
so patient. So patient, like the queen of patience.
It's
and then she's exploding on the inside.
And then Doom is like, Shaye, stop. But like with her eyes.
Reel it in. Reel it in.
And she's like,
I've got the low key. The low key strategies.
You got the mum eyes. It's like, oi. She's gonna eat me.
No. We'll talk about this later, dear.
Send
we'll talk about this offline.
All right, my lovelies. It has been a fantastic show. The chat's been fantastic. Kitty, thank you so much for answering our communities and your community's questions. We love to see you here. We probably won't see you very much in the next few months heading into PAX.
It's wonky.
And yeah, big love. Love your work. Shaye, what do you got going on?
Oh, well, I'm just trying to figure out how to make a love heart with my fingers at this point. Because Kitty's doing it real well, and I'm doing a Garbarino job at it. But like, I can do a little Lees. Although one time I was told that depending on the culture,
I only know this one.
This is the Gen Z version.
Ellie knows
Oh my god, I'm just garbage at that. I don't know why I'm bad at that. But I got told that this one, for some cultures, implies a small body part of some kind, and so now I'm scared to do that.
Isn't it?
Yeah, that's
just one hand.
Small heart.
But not in all Asian cultures is that a small heart.
Interesting.
I did that one time.
Yes, I read mode.
Yeah, I was a little fearful. Anyway, sorry, what am I up to in this coming week? Oh boy. So copious amounts of chocolate, which I can't really eat because it makes me sick, but I'm gonna do it anyway.
Easter.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's got to hang out with those bilbies, otherwise Doom's kids are going to be mad at me. I'll get haunted.
Buy a bilby.
Yeah.
To my daughter.
Yeah. Or she'll come for you.
Not a real one, the chocolate one.
Your daughter's chocolate?
No.
Well,
no. She might turn into it after this weekend. Who knows?
Fair. But other than that, my shirts have been delayed because my business partner got COVID. So that's a
Oh.
cheeky little fun thing. But other than that, no, it's going to be a lot of streaming, a lot of games, more chaos stuff. I applied for PAX, so that's really cool. Kitty put in a good word for me. I clearly tripped over myself to my computer to do that, and I regret nothing, and I will not apologize. Thank you. But no, like, gosh, it's just all of the usual fun stuff. I feel like I say the same stuff each week, but I genuinely enjoy that I just have such a reliable schedule and community for streaming, and I end up getting to do this fantastic thing every week and meet these amazing people and hopefully help a few people while I'm doing it. So, yeah, I'm good. I'm happy. I can't wait.
Amazing. Well, thank you again for being such an amazing co-host. Even if you do derail us, we love you anyway. Ellie, what are you getting up to this week?
I think my mum must be watching. She just texted me, "Hey, you guys want any Easter eggs?" I think she must be watching.
I'll have some
Philby.
Easter eggs.
Philby.
Ellie Senior.
Yes.
Thank you.
Philby.
Ellie's mum. Oh.
I mean, she's in my good books. She did literally give me all my Dolly magazines back.
Oh, yes.
Do we call her like Mrs. Ellie? Ellie Senior?
Mrs. Ellie Senior, yeah.
Yeah.
She'd love
Ellie
that.
the first?
Yeah, she literally, we look exactly the same. She's just me, but 30 years later. It's actually
so
chaotic.
cute.
I bet
So
she's
she have-
fine as well. I bet, I bet she's aging like a
She's a
fine
little hottie.
wine. Yeah.
Does she have the same endless patience face where she's just like, I'm just gonna stay
Does she
perfectly
look like
neutral?
a fairy as well? Like you and
little
your son
chin?
do?
Yeah, we do have the same chin. We
Yeah.
have the same tiny little button nose. We've
Yeah.
got a lot of the
please.
same, really. But she has like really short hair, and I did cut my hair that short once. She's like, I love it. I'm like, of course you do.
Oh my gosh, that's so cute.
I look like
She's
you.
like, not
And now,
biased or anything.
Hair. It's like
And
looking
then
in
I
a
went-
mirror.
and then I went auburn, and she was like, I was like, that's because I don't look like you anymore, woman. Gee, you
Disappointing.
can't win.
Oh.
Yeah.
Everyone
I might
say
go
hi to
auburn
your
again.
mums.
Hi, Ellie's mom.
Yeah, I'll send her a message.
You're right. Anyway.
Your own mum. No, all to Ellie
All
Senior.
Or just say hi to Ellie's mom. That's cool too.
Yeah.
Is she on LinkedIn? We'll connect.
No, my mum doesn't know how to use her phone.
Her qualification is just Ellie's mom.
You're like, yes. She would. She'd be the biggest COAGG fan. But yeah, I'm kind of the same. I will indulge in some of the Chocky. I will be indulging in some of the several games they have on the go, because a gal can't just have one game. So I've got to have 4 on the go at once, much like everyone has several beveraginos.
Heck yeah.
And I wouldn't mind just hanging out, relaxing, taking it slow, hanging out with some friends online. So we'll see how that goes. I'm yet to get Helldivers. I'm getting peer pressured to get Helldivers. I need to get it. So
You'd be so good at it. I feel like you're really good with high pressure games that are fast, especially playing Fall Guys. Like, I think you're
right. I think that's why I'm getting the pressure from the lads to join them over there, and also because I rage and they think it's hilarious.
You've got to do this one.
That's right.
Actually, Ellie, you're a bit of a you like games. It's been known you've done one of those before. Horror games, right? So I've been avoiding them on my channel for the longest time, obviously because I get severe motion sickness, but also I really love horror.
Yeah.
Hit me with some horror games when you get a sec. It doesn't have to be on podcast, but if you want to recommend it to everybody, awesome.
Yeah. I definitely have. Yeah, I have several because I stream mainly horror, really, on my streams. So it's weird when I play Fall Guys and Fortnite. They're like, wait, we're not seeing blood, splatter, and
just
zombies?
Put on a vignette.
What?
Put on a vignette and some scary fangs, and you'll be fine. It'll be fine.
Yeah. No, 100%.
When you say vignette, I think of
lots.
vinegar dressing.
A dressing?
Yum.
Vinaigrette.
Oh no, I mean in like editing.
I know what you meant.
I'm so sorry. I'm not a salad person. Clearly, I've just added myself.
I had to defend to my year 6s why Italian salad dressing is a suspension and not a mixture.
Oh, stop.
Caesar all the
The
way.
herbs are a solid, babe. They're dispersed evenly in a liquid.
Oh, far out.
I love that you have the patience to do that. I would have just been like, shut up and eat it.
Listen to me.
No, we weren't eating it.
Listen.
Why not? No, if you're going to talk about the solids and liquids, you give me stuff to eat. That's how you keep my attention.
We
I'm very
we
food
made
motivated.
pancakes and ice cream
Did it have dressing?
Yum.
dressing, like
Better be
topping.
No, I mean like the salad stuff you were talking about. You don't know it doesn't work until you try it. I'm just saying.
You try it, Shane. Get back to us.
I'll consider it. You can actually drink mayo in Stardew now. I'm just saying. It's an option. Yeah, I know. There's now speed runs to see who can drink mayo the fastest in the Stardew community. You're welcome, everybody.
That seems very niche, and I'm here for it. All right, lovelies. Thank you to everyone who is listening post and who's been here putting up with us. We love seeing you every week. I love rushing home from work just so I get to talk to these beautiful ladies. And we will see you next time after Easter. Probably 2 kilos heavier, but that's just more of us to love.
I think you mean 2 kilos happier. That's all I'm hearing.
Yeah.
Yes.
We will see you next week for another episode of Confessions of a Gamer Girl podcast. Bye.
Bye,
everyone.
Bye.